All right, here we are. This is a Thursday. One more day of school. Today, tomorrow. And remember, you have a test for me tomorrow that'll deal with Scientology and with Wicca. And so we end that. I just can't believe we've come to this, and they had to do this distant learning all the way through this year. So let's come to God and let's pray. Father, we ask that you'll bless us, that you will watch over us now as we finish this year in all our classes, Lord. Give us knowledge and wisdom. Lord, be with us as we move through the summer. Protect us still as we deal with this COVID-19 protocol, and that you will keep us all safe. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All righty, let's continue. Now, as yesterday, if you'll remember, we were on Wicca, and so we're dealing with Wiccans. Okay, so Wicca is a religion based in ancient Northern European pagan history. So we think of Northern Europe, we're thinking of paganism. It's ancient. This is before even Christianity. They have beliefs in things like the fertility goddess and her spouse, which is the horned god. And although some religions of modern creation that predated Christianity periods have placed that, and I do want to talk about this horn god. The horn god is what they will tell you that Christianity has done. Okay? Now, the truth of the matter is, Christianity took a look at some of Wicca's beliefs and that they have the horn god. Actually, his wife is much more powerful. She's the fertility god. And so there has a lot of dealing with sexual activities. But the horn god is our image of the devil. Okay? I mean, he has the horns that come out. And so when we think of the devil, the red guy with the pitchfork and the forked tail, that's the horn god. That's what they refer to it. But now the horn god is not evil in their sight, but they're saying that that's what we have done. And so, at Halloween we make up, somebody goes with the devil, so you identify the devil as the horn god. But that actually comes from Wicca. Now, what we understand in Christianity is that the devil is the most beautiful of all God's creations. I mean, he is an angel, the morning star. I mean, he's beautiful. And so by far away from what we would call the ugly old horn god, because it is the devil that tempts us, that brings us in, and nobody's going to be tempted by some of this ugly, nasty, red horn god. But that's where they get that idea. Now, I'll give you a video that'll go along with this. Now, they do have some influential writers. These writers are Gerald Gardner, Charles Leland, and Margaret Murray. And they're their most influential writers of the modern day period. Okay? So of the modern day period, those are their most influential. And give you kind of a little image of this. Gardner is British. He's a civil servant. This is a picture of him. He does kind of look spooky or whatever. He began to write in the 1930s of a coven that he was involved in. And he also wrote something called Magique. And if you'll notice the spell of it, that's one of the ways that they go about spelling magic. Okay. Garner began with the rituals associated with fire, the hunt, and animal fertility, and curing disease. He recognized that there was a supreme deity, but he looked at it as evolution and everything considered again to the god of the hunt, and that would be like the horn god. Let's see, Charles Leland. Here's a picture of Leland. He was a founder. He was an Egyptian lord. He was in the late 19th century, leading up to the 20th century. published several different writings. So this is this guy. He's dealt with Italian witchcraft a good bit too. We'll flip through here. Okay, there's Margaret Murray. Margaret Murray also, now she actually lives for 100 years. She's 100 years old. Margaret Murray lives from 1863 to 1963, and she is the more modern day writer. She authored The Witch Cult in Western Europe and The God of the Witches. So she is there. Now, I'm going to give you some symbolism of some of the things that we will see in Wicca. Now, what you're going to get is you're going to get some images. I've taken these images from a particular Facebook page of a friend who actually is a Wicca. Yeah, I know. Lovely person, teaches at Auburn University, and yeah, I know. Nothing against Auburn. There are Wiccas everywhere. She's very, very spiritual and sees spirituality in everything. And so what you're going to see is you're going to see a bunch of these images. And I just want to show you some of the images. These are things that Wiccas use in association. Remember, Wiccans are looking at earth. They're looking at things that you see, and they see spirituality in everything. Okay, so this is a labyrinth, and that is actually on the beach. This is a beach. I believe my friend created this, and this is one of those things that she uses to channel her spirituality. Now she's not worshiping the labyrinth, but you go through the labyrinth, and you can see I can get here. I have to start going all the way around, and then it brings me all the way back, So this is the labyrinth. These are some other things. I'm not sure exactly what their representation is, but she takes pictures of this stuff, but puts them on her Facebook all the time. You'll notice that there's just little folded, that's like origami, paper, but these are symbolic, especially the triangle. Triangles seem to have a lot of power. Crystals, I'm going to put this down here. Crystals and these balls, and they're all set up in a different manner. And that, it's kind of like the solar, or the solar system that we live in. There's the 9 planets, if Pluto still is one. So I'm not sure if this is what she's trying to do, or, I guess you could, if you're going this way around the sun, it'd be Venus, Mercury, Earth. That would be, well, this one would have to be Mars, but the size, I don't know. Here's another little drawing, painting. They're big into what I want to say, tie-dye type of stuff, those kind of things. Real hippies, if you think about it. If you think about Wiccas, and if you were to see my friend, if you were to see Lana, you would know that she looks like an old hippie, okay? Like an old hippie. The way she dresses, she still dresses with the tie-dye, the skirts, that are flax. She's like I said, she's a lovely person, but deeply spiritual, but still, not real sure what she's spiritual about. Okay, and so that she'll pick up these, and you see the I am, which is the name of God, and so what is this? This is kind of the Hindu wheel. See, the Hindu wheel, and the idea there in the Hindu wheel, or the Buddhist wheel even, is to get to nirvana. Okay, you get to nirvana out here if it's a Hindu wheel, and so this would be if your reincarnational cycles, until you get to samsara, which brings you back into here, depending upon your karma and the Brahma that leads you into that. But the I am would actually be out here instead of here, because that would be you. So she's dealing with something a whole lot different in spirituality. This is just something that actually hangs in her house. We've got some type of Eastern writing. I don't know if this is Chinese or Japanese or Korean or whatever. I do not know, and some of you may know. But we have different chimes and different bells. Bells are used a lot in Wicca. This is just looks like something that maybe you found somewhere, birds or whatever, but it's knitted out, it's intentional, it's set there as kind of a shrine. Here's another one of these shrines where she's taken the diaper pins and put beads across them, and then you have these crystals. Crystals are a big part of worship and getting your senses right in Wicca. Big thing in Wicca is a justice for all. You will find Wiccans find themselves in social justice all the time. If you were to take some issues of social justice that we deal with, the LGBT community, they are very open and very, embracing of them, supporting of them. Any time of prison reform, they want that. They're going to be environmentalists. They definitely want to get away from any type of use of fuel burning or gasoline, oil, coal burning, those types of things. They are very much naturalist, and they're very much for equality of everybody. This is outside their front door, and you'll notice that these are some type of, they look like Christmas ornaments, but they're not. But they hang upon this bush, and that's just to give them some sense of. Right, here's some more crystals, and she puts these crystals out as they are something to energize, to use as energy, and then some other things for energy. Also, I guess, very patriotic. Okay, good for her. And these are just more of the scenes. Not sure what that is. More crystals. Okay. Now, we were talking about some of the books that promote the concept of witchcraft, which, Roman Catholics, Protestants, they threw them out. They burned the books. They burned the people who were involved in it. Their writings have been well received by anthropologists, however, and they were influential in providing background material for neo-pagan traditions, which is where we are today. Okay, modern day Wiccans are in general agreement that Wicca was the first to become a mass movement in recent times in England and during the 1950s, especially when Gardner published his book. It's expanded into North America. It's a large minority religious in the United States. And so there's an estimated, close to 1 million folks in the United States that practice Wicca. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of videos, several videos, some of them with no introduction. One of them is about a worship service. It's kind of spooky. But this will give you enough information that you need so that as we get ready for this test. We will see you tomorrow. I've got one more video thing Friday morning. And so, hey, have a good evening. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.